Hello friends and strangers, I am Heli, and in this video I am taking you with me into our life, beginnings and always. Last time we did this ghost vignette, and today I was thinking we could take a look at the Sandcastle, see what that is all about. Cove wasn't able to do many things that summer when you, him and Sheila sat out on the shoreline one bright morning. You could tell he wanted to be in the water. But there was no way he'd be swimming anytime soon, not with his cast. The waves washed a single shell to the shore, glittering and blue, another reminder of the places he couldn't go. From what you'd heard about Cove's old life so far, in tiny pieces and fragments, you could tell that he'd do anything to be able to get the cast off. The possibilities of what he might get up to made you anxious. You thought about how his summer last year must have been totally different from this, with his old home and his mom and dad. But now he was here with you and Sheila and Lizzie and everyone else, and he couldn't even go in the sea. This town wasn't bad, it had all your favorite things in it, but sitting there on the same beach you'd grown up on, you could understand that not everybody else felt the same way about Sunset Bird as you did. You watched him from the corner of your eye quietly, and he finally said aloud what you had been pondering. I wish I could go in. The water? Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you're gonna be able to do it soon. Cove only sighed in response. Apparently, soon was not soon enough. It's so pretty, the ocean. And huge. There could be anything out there, like mermaids.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's say I'm fine here on land. Alright? Obviously not interested in hearing much more of your input on the situation, Cove turned back to the water. But as he looked away, something about Sheila's slow, careful movements caught his eye. Hey, are you building a sandcastle? Sort of. I was only playing around while you were talking. I'm listening. Maybe I could too. I've only made big piles before. It's really nothing special. I'm sure you'll be good at it right away. Well, how do you do it then? Sheila's cheeks lit up. You could tell he was a little bit uncomfortable to have Cove's expectant stare on him. I'll play too. I've never really made one before.
Okay.
He put his hands back to his seashells and sand and nodded. I don't do a lot. Here's how I like to go and get a house started. Sheila, focusing more intently than you'd ever seen him, guided the two of you through his process. It didn't take long for the three of you to each have a humble structures prepared. That's all, kind of. You can do anything now, like make it bigger, add some seashells, carve a pretty pattern. I bet you'll have great ideas.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it bigger. Mine is gonna be a real castle.
Cool.
This is gonna be a house. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to make... Well, let's make a mansion. Let's be different from the others. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to design a mansion. The better part of the next hour was spent focusing on your own work. The boys were the same. Even Sheila didn't sneak as many peeks at everyone else as he usually did. You finished shaping before either of them did, glancing up from what you'd built. It seems you got done so fast because they already searched around for extra decorations. Sheila had grabbed most of the really interesting stuff, and Cove had a lot of the shells, but there were still options. The first thing you reached for was a green piece of sea glass. It was the best fit for your mansion, you decided. It was see-through and sparkly. So you tucked it away somewhere secure inside, barely poking out to make sure it didn't get lost. Pleased with your result, you finally took a proper look around that wasn't focused on the sand itself. Both Cove and Sheila seemed super immersed still. You knew you could probably sneak a peek at either one's work. Let's not look. Not until they're ready to share them. You instead watched some clouds go by. The silence was then broken. What's on the top of yours, Sheila? You peeked closer and discovered something shiny sticking out of Sheila's sand chimney. Oh, it's just a gum wrapper. It looks like smoke.
Neat.
It's good. That's smart. Yeah, I didn't think of that. You really know a lot about this. Sheila smiled without a word. And that was that for the current topic. Hazel, can I see what you did? Sure. He began surveying your work. All you really knew about mansions was that they were supposed to be big, so you'd gone really big. It was the size of the country club that Lizzie played golf at, compared to Cove and Sheila's buildings, probably even bigger. Sheila quickly decided to jump in the new conversation. Hey, Hazel, what did you do? I made a mansion. It looks great. Your house is so big. I guess mansions are just really big houses. Huh? Is being a house bad?
No.
But we each made our own place. Nobody's the same. I think we are. Cove raised an eyebrow at that. If something is the only one of that thing, that makes it special. Yeah, for sandcastles and stuff. People too. My dad always says how everybody is their own man, a real individual. I don't think I'm very special.
Why?
Nobody else is you. Sheila simply shook his head. I'm not different. A beat passed between the two. Cove then looked down at his own work again. Okay. He didn't seem to be bothered, leaving the disagreement hanging there. Cove had other things on his mind. My dad tried to get me to make sandcastles the first time we came to this beach. I didn't want to. Cove trailed off. Again, there was another moment of silence. Sheila shifted and opened his mouth to say something, but Cove spoke up before he could. You didn't think he noticed that Sheila was going to talk. Hey, do you know what happened when your moms met my dad, Hazel? You blinked, not expecting the question. You thought hard. I wasn't there. They didn't tell me. I just remember what happened when I met your dad. Mr. Holden had been a weird stranger then. Well, he was still kind of strange. No other parent acted like him, but you knew him better at this point. Now that you thought about it, it made a lot of sense that Cove's dad talked to him about people being unique. You were pulled from your thoughts when Cove continued.
Oh.
Well, I was there. I don't think my mom has met your dad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Hazel's parents and my dad met the same day I met her. I'm gonna say what happened. Sheila frowned to himself, ducking his head. His hat cast a shadow over his face. You could still tell he was upset at not being included in Cove's choice of topic. That was kind of boring for him, though giving people their own turn to say the things they want is important too. Let's stay silent. Sheila could talk about stuff after Cove had a chance to say what he planned on saying. When we moved here, we didn't bring a lot of things with us, only some stuff that we could fit in Dad's car. We didn't even get a moving truck. I sat in there while Dad brought it all inside. I didn't want to get out because I knew Dad would make me look around the new house. I really didn't want to do that. His lips twisted into a frown as he recalled that. Then I saw your moms. They were in a car too and stopped at your house. I guess they were coming back from somewhere or something. My dad noticed. He waved his hand, then went over to the front of your house, where he started talking to them. I don't know what they said. I couldn't hear it. But he couldn't see me anymore since he was looking the other way. So I opened the car door and left. I wanted to get away and went behind the houses. I found those hills there, the ones where we met for the first time. Cove nodded, then stared at you. You stared back. He didn't go on to say anything more. Is that it? Cove's brow wrinkled like he didn't understand why you were surprised.
Huh?
That's all that happened. Thanks for telling me. You're welcome. Even if not much happened, you weren't gonna complain about knowing the story. Sheila's mouth twisted into a scowl of disbelief, but he said nothing. Why'd you bring that up anyway? There was a slight shrug of Cove's shoulders.
Well,
I was thinking about it because of the Sandcastle. It made me remember when I moved to here. Dad showed me the beach first, before we went back to the car to unpack. He was really excited about it for some reason. Cove's brows furrowed a little more as he quietly raked his hands through the sand. I get it. You thought maybe Mr. Holden wasn't that excited about the beach and was instead hoping Cove might be. But the line of conversation had come to its end. Even Cove was done with it. Some other topic had popped into his head. Sheila, fidgeting uncomfortably in the sand, had made Cove aware of his presence again. They looked at each other, and you could only wonder what this might be about. Hey, Sheila. Yeah? Why are you always turning red? Even when nothing is happening? Clearly startled, he jerked back. Neither you or Sheila had expected that to be how he got included in the conversation again. I don't know, I guess. Okay, it's kind of weird. Sheila's eyes were wide with embarrassment, and his lips twitched, and he was blushing even harder than before. Maybe it wasn't only this, perhaps it was simply the last straw, but it was a big deal to Sheila. A huge deal. He didn't just look sad, he seemed almost panicked. You weren't sure if he was about to cry or run away or what, but you soon got an answer. Why do you wear glasses? Most kids don't wear glasses, and nobody's named Cove.
who asked you to come?
It was probably just your dad, bugging Hazel's family some more, 'cause you don't have anyone else who'll ever play with you. Cove blinked. The tension on the beach was suddenly uncomfortable, in a way you didn't know how to even mention. It didn't seem like the kind of thing he'd get upset about, though you hadn't ever known what kind of thing would bother Sheila. I'm sorry. Me too. I was just wondering. Are we gonna build more? You wanna keep building sandcastles?
Yeah.
Okay. Cove glanced at Sheila, whose smile hadn't returned to full power, then at you. All right. What a relief. You were glad it was settled. You all went back to making more sand buildings, but the whole mood had changed. Sheila's cheeriness was clearly gone, and Cove looked as confused as ever about why the other boy had blown up. The air stayed uncomfortable the rest of the afternoon, right up to the moment that Sheila's mom appeared at the beach to take him home. At least you tried to do something to resolve it. though, and it seemed like it had helped. Even though Sheila's smile when he said goodbye to Cove wavered, it stayed as bright as ever for you. That had to count for something. But with Sheila gone and the sun going down, you knew it was time for you and Cove to head to your own houses. You followed him as he made his way out of the sand. The walk home was quiet. You passed by familiar landmarks, shoes thumping against the sidewalk in near perfect unison. Cove was clearly caught up in thinking about something. Let's ask him what's on his mind. The prospect of asking made you nervous, but you did anyway. Hey, is everything, okay?
Oh.
I was just wondering. Cove fell silent again for a few more seconds, then sighed. Why'd Sheila act like that when I said he was all red a lot? He gets embarrassed. Embarrassed? But I didn't say anything that bad. It might have upset him anyway. I guess I can get it. Why he would do that. Sometimes I get really mad too. Despite seemingly coming to a conclusion, Cove's mood was still sour. What Sheila said didn't make any sense anyway. Parents always talk to other parents and set up stuff so their kids play together. My dad didn't do anything weird. You struggled not to make a face at that. His dad definitely did something weird to try and get you to spend time with Cove. But Cove didn't know that. Well, I refused his offer, so technically he isn't making me do anything. I'm not under any obligation, 'cause I didn't take the money. So yeah, nobody's making me spend time with you. Cove's shoulders relaxed. You hadn't even noticed that he had tensed up. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyway, I knew the whole time Sheila shouldn't have been saying things like that. You nodded, but you didn't speak. You kept your eyes firmly on the ground. By now, the two of you were on the sidewalk near your houses. It was time to part ways. Bye, Cove. Your parents hadn't planned anything else for you, though you knew that you'd see him eventually. Cove nodded, already turning away. Bye, Hazel. You made your way to your house at a leisurely pace, going up the driveway to get to the front door. Before you went inside, you looked back. Cove was halfway to his house, his hands shoved into his pockets. You still felt a little unsure with what you were supposed to do about the deal Cove's dad had offered. Well, I turned it down. It's history. You didn't want to say something bad, or something you shouldn't. You might change your mind sometime. There was always tomorrow after all. But for now, it was definitely something that you'd keep to yourself. With a final look, you went inside your house. Okay, so that was Sandcastle. And next time we will explore one of the other 4 vignettes that we have left. But for now, let's save here. So if you like this video, please leave it a like. And if you'd like to support my efforts here on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel Gentle Gaming for Wellness. It is quick and easy and doesn't cost you a thing, but it does help me a lot. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you a lovely rest of your day, and I hope I'll see you in the comments below.